Godzilla put the beat on.
It be that R, it be that A, it be that I, our defense bang. It be that E, it be that R, it be that S. On our chest that got us far. We be them Raiders, we be them Raiders, we be them Raiders. Just wanna be that hater. We be them Raiders, we be them Raiders, we be them Raiders, we be them Raiders. Give me a stack, I'ma turn it to some racks. LA didn't wanna give us a home, but LV got us on the map. That be a fact, I bled it all on silver and black. Hard Carson and Mad Max got me Emmett. I've been down since the 90s. You don't want the black hole, homie, don't try me. Raiders won't keep some say that we grind me. But we bring the revenue every time we grind in third and some and Wallace gone. Renfro caught it and now he's spinning. Mariota on third, he's sprinting. R.I.P. Madden, Al Davis, and all of the Raiders fans that we lost since the beginning. It be that R, it be that A, it be that I, our defense bang. It be that E, it be that R, it be that S on our chest that got us far. We be them Raiders, we be them Raiders, we be them Raiders. Just win, be the hater. We be them Raiders, we be them Raiders, we be them Raiders, we be them Raiders.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Just win, baby, he says. Just win, baby. That's okay. We're going to win this week, man. But everybody, happy Friday, man. Welcome to Protect the Shield podcast, Fan Talk Friday. Appreciate you guys stopping in. Got a good panel as usual, man. First, I want to say what's up to everybody, the Shield squad in the building. My boy Randy, what's going on? Have a great show, Raiders. My boy Terrence Crump, what's going on? I know you already out in Vegas, man. Enjoy yourself. Thanks for tapping in with me. So I really appreciate it. But, you know, guys, I got some good people in the building. Gonna go ahead and introduce them. My boy MP3 from last week, man. A lot of people wanted you back, man. I appreciate you stopping through again. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, bro? I appreciate you having me back, man. Had a lot of fun last week.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. Man, also got first time to the show. Got my boy, the GOAT 209. Joseph, what's up, boss?
Hey, how's everybody doing tonight, man?
Hey, good, man. Good. Appreciate you coming through, man. So, first I gotta say, man, you know, shout out to you, man. Your memorabilia is on point, man.
So that's what I'm known for. So I don't know if you guys watched the All In Autumn Wins podcast. Mm-hmm. He actually came and did a tour of my house, and that's kind of what I've been doing since I was a kid, is collecting the sports memorabilia. So usually every podcast I hop on, I bust something out, show you guys something special. So I can do it now, or I can wait. It's up to you.
Yeah, we'll do it in a little bit. Yeah, let's warm up to them. You know, gotta make sure everybody's in here, kick back a little bit, man. But tell us more about like you. Like, what do you you know, I know you got a big social media presence and stuff like that. So you know, kind of how did you become a fan, and what's your story?
It all started with my stepbrother and my stepdad, hardcore Raider fans growing up. My dad screaming at the TV, cussing Jeff Hostetler out. So that's kind of like how I grew up with Oakland. So the Hoss was the quarterback I started with. And so I've been a fan ever since, been getting autographs ever since, going to games since then. That was like when I was 6 or 7. So from there, it just kind of spiraled out of control. My house looks like a Dave and Buster's. It's just full of sports stuff, and the social media thing just kind of hit out of nowhere. Because like I tell people, I'm just a regular guy. I go to games, I travel. 2-3 years ago, I had 500 followers. And like every year, it's just, 2, 3, 4,000 get added. Because I just go to games and I wild out. I do the same thing in Vegas that I did in Oakland. I get over there, I have fun, I go crazy, talk shit, and and then I'm there. If we win or lose, it doesn't matter. I'm there. So that's kind of I think what people started following me. And I'm very real when it comes to the Raiders, and I'm very honest and opinionated about it, and I back it up with data and facts.
That's what's up, man. And honestly, that's what really kind of attracted me to kind of like what you do, just being out there, calling out different things. And similar to me, because I don't know about you guys, man. Our current state of the fan base, man, it's just we're in a very unique time, man. At the end of the day, but
yeah,
it's tough, man. It's tough. But so let's see who else we got in the building. So we got Keelan in the building. Let's go, P3. Got Thomas in the building. Raider Kush in the building. What's up, boss? Raider Ben, what's going on? Shout out to you, Josh. Got Luis in the building. What's going on? Ben, what's going on? So, Dog's Life in the building. What's going on? So I appreciate everybody. But first thing I want to talk about, man, is so I'm not going to spend too much time, talking about last week, but at the end of the day, man, we got our ass kicked at the end of the day, even though I think that, we played bad, but I don't think it was as bad as the score showed. But just want to ask you guys just real quick, man. So what are some key takeaways, from last week, and what really stood out to you guys? Start with you, MP3.
Man, you couldn't have asked for a better start. We went down that first drive, even went for it on a 4th down, I believe. We go down and we score. We get 7. It's looking pretty. We even follow that up with a 3 and out on defense. Get the ball back, and like I said, you can't ask for a better start than that. And then Jimmy throws the interception on that next drive, and I feel like I think it was that next drive anyway. And I feel like that's where everything changed. But even after he did that, we had our opportunities where it was still close to turn the tide, and we just weren't making plays. I feel like as a Raider fan, it's like the 2 losses we get are either going to be they're going to rip our heart out of our chest, type of ending, or we get fucking blown out the way that we did. So. Yeah, man, it's one of those things that we wanted. We knew we were starting the season with two tough teams, and to come away 1-1 for the home opener, and first place in the AFC West. We can't ask for anything better than that. Take last week as a learning lesson, and let's go this week, bro.
Yeah, facts. What about you, Goat?
The thing I noticed the most was we were getting blown off the line. Our offensive line was, and I thought it was like I was watching it because Ed Oliver's all pro, one of the best defensive linemen, just a nasty lineman, big boy. And it wasn't him beating people; it was the second string and the third string that were beating our first string line. And once I saw the other defensive tackles and defensive ends start tearing up Van Rotten, I was like,
from the beginning, the first play they set the tone.
From the beginning. Jimmy G didn't get sacked, but he was under pressure up the middle for most of the game.
Yeah.
And once I saw that, I'm like, we got to step it up with our blocking, or it's going to be a very, very long day.
Yeah.
And it was, that's the number one thing. My takeaway was we were slow off the offensive line.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. Honestly, the trenches on both sides, at the end of the day, I think that, we definitely were getting blown off the line on defense as well. Max always gives maximum effort. But our interior line, man, I mean, I know we all continue to talk about it, but it is bad, man. It is bad. And the fact that we really didn't, I mean, I know I'm not all for just throwing money at people, you know, getting all these, you know, expensive free agents and stuff like that. But at some point you got to invest in this defense. You got to invest in that D line. It's just, you know, I can deal with a lot of things. I can deal with, you know, rookies making mistakes, you know, giving maximum effort and just getting beat. I can deal with that. But a mentality of just getting bullied, I mean, that bothered me, man. It really bothered me. So, no, I agree with both of you guys, man. That was that definitely stood out. Another thing that stood out is just like lack of effort. Not everybody, but you know, I saw a lack of effort from Wilson, Tyree Wilson. I don't know about you guys, man. Like, I don't want to call him a bust, but there's certain things that bother me, and that is just that lack of effort, that lack of having that dog mentality. I know he may still be a little hurt, the foot, but you know, I really saw there was one play in particular, you know, he really just gave up on the play, you know. So I don't know how you guys feel about that, but is there anything that just kind of makes you guys think the sky's falling, or do you guys think we'll kind of work our way out of it?
I don't think the sky's falling. It's only game 2, you know. It's just we looked bad in both games. And I told people, I was in Denver too. Russell Wilson cut us up. You know, he had what? Both quarterbacks had over 80% completion percentage, which is just insane. Russell Wilson's not an 80% completion guy. And, you know, I told people, I was like, if there was a better quarterback, we would have lost that game. You know, Russ is a system guy. He's not an all-pro like he was with Carroll. And if we had a better quarterback, and that's what happened with Allen actually has an arm, makes stupid decisions here and there, but that dude has a cannon and he makes, you know, smart throws.
Yep.
He tore us up, you know?
Yeah, he made it look easy too. And and even when I think back about Russ, I mean, we kept losing contain. Like the old Russ probably would have killed us because we were just giving him the edge. Like if he wanted to just, after he did the naked bootleg, if he wanted to just keep going and run for another 9 yards, nobody was there. He could have did it, but he ended up stopping and dumping it down or whatever. But yeah, you're right. We gotta figure it out. So I saw a recent poll, man, from SB Nation. So it said that only 15% of the Raider fans are confident in this team's direction. What do you guys feel about that, man? Because me personally, I'm still in an optimistic standpoint where I'm still believing in the system, but I'm hearing a lot of these fans talk. So I just want to hear what you guys got to say. MP3.
I'm not gonna jump ship on the McDaniels, you know, whole thing just yet. I'm gonna give him this year, maybe even next year to prove himself. But like I said, after that first drive, the offense got really, really boring, very predictable with the play calling. We did that jet sweep to Trey Tucker. And I'm like, yeah, you know, let's mix it up. You know, let's go. They were stacking the box on Jacobs all day. He's getting blown up in the backfield, and running lanes just weren't there. I don't understand how we're so poor in run blocking, but you know, the pass protection is great. I think Jim even on that the second interception, or maybe it was the first one, the one that he checked down to Josh.
Yeah, that was a screen.
Yeah. Okay. Oh no. Yeah. The first one was a screen. I'm talking. The second one, when he checks down to Josh, he had 5 seconds to go through his progression. Yeah, nobody's getting open. You know, where's Renfro? I don't know what's going on with that situation. But my point being is the run blocking is not there, but the pass protection is. And, you know, Milano makes a beast play and picks off the ball. But I just feel going into this Pittsburgh game, yeah, let's mix it up on offense. Let's get Tucker involved. Let's definitely get Renfro involved. Yeah, if we're, you know, why are we paying him all this money if we're not gonna utilize them? You know, just 2 years ago he was balling out, you know, 100 catches or whatever it was. So yeah, let's just mix it up on offense. Like I said, I'm not too concerned just yet. Defensively, yeah, my concerns on defense. I just a couple points. Spillane, this dude is flying to the ball, but he's not wrapping up.
Don't
Like
wrap up, man.
It's killing me, bro.
Yeah.
Wilson, as a matter of fact, it was like 3rd and 22. And he had a chance to blow up the running back in the backfield. And instead, he misses the tackle, and it goes for like 16 yards. And who makes the tackle? Max Crosby. Your defensive end should not be making the tackle 16 yards down the field. I just feel like Max was the only one giving any effort this last game. Everybody has to step up this next game because, what I see from Pittsburgh defense this past week, if we don't come with our A game, they could repeat that against us. So,
no, I agree. I mean, the sky's not falling, of course, but I mean, considering that we're still tied for first, so I think we still got to let everything play out, but we definitely gotta make some improvements, man. Josh, what's some things that you want to see in this upcoming game that you think can be the difference maker?
So I told everybody, with the Carr and Jimmy G, they're two different quarterbacks.
Yep.
Jimmy G's a drive sustainer. He's turnover ratio is good. Doesn't have 3 and outs, but he's not going to win you very many games because he's not super athletic. He doesn't have a cannon for arm. He's a system West Coast quarterback that needs better players around him, and that was supposed to be Jacobs.
Yep.
So as far as the offensive line goes, like our pass blocking was great last year. It was top 10. I think we ended up like at 7th or 10th, somewhere around there. But it was like
you mean run block?
No, our pass blocking. People don't realize that. Our pass blocking last year was top 10.
See, according to PFF.
Yeah, and then on top of that, the sacks, and then whilst the pocket presence. So our pocket time was like tied for 3rd best in the league. So we gave our quarterback time to throw. Carr was hooking up with Adams all year. The other part is, with Jimmy G, he's not going to win you games. He needs that running game. Yeah. As far as the defense goes, man, I got a lot of hate for this. I said we're a 6 or 7 win team, and people were just egging on me, telling me to go somebody told me to go root for the Cardinals. And I'm just like, I'm being honest. I'm like, we're a 9 win team probably at best, and our defense is going to take us as far as we go. The better our D is, the more games we win. If it plays like last year, we're a 6 to 7 win team. And I got so much crap for that. So, it's the same thing as before. It's Max by himself on an island, and you got people that can't play very well around him. And this is the thing where I talk to Raider fans about, and I try to tell them, don't get emotionally attached to players who are subpar. Debo and Spillane wouldn't start on 25 other teams. They're undersized, fast linebackers, and they need coaching to get better. Right. Athletically, they're 2 of the fastest linebackers in the NFL. But the thing is, they're a little undersized, and if our D-line gets eaten up, those guys are going to get ran over, by guards and tackles because they're just not big enough. So it's, we need better schemes on defense. I don't know what's going on. Like I said, Spillane has a bunch of missed tackles. Like, he leads our team in tackles, I believe. He's fast as hell. Yeah. But he's what, 220? I mean, as a linebacker, a middle linebacker, that's small.
Oh yeah,
he's 6 foot 220. It says he's 6'1", 6'2". He's not. I've seen him in person. I'm like, but I think that's the main thing. Our D line's getting eaten up, and we have this disappointment across the board. Besides Max Crosby,
Yeah. No, that's a good point. So see, because my whole thing, like one of the reasons why I don't think the sky is falling, because I actually think the opposite from an offensive line standpoint. At least from the eye test, I thought last year our O-line pass blocked terribly, but run block they were okay, but they weren't as good as what most people say they were. I just think Josh Jacobs' instinct and I think according to PFF, and again I don't take that as a gospel, but he had the most forced missed tackles. So and a lot of those tackles were behind the line of scrimmage, so he kind of bailed them out and made them look better. But again, I mean if the numbers say that they did well in pass blocking last year, I mean, I guess that's what it says. But just watching it, I was always nervous, when Carr would go back there. I felt like, for one, I felt like Parham did okay, but he had to get stronger. I always saw him get pushed back. Alex Bars got pushed back a lot. Even our center, he would get pushed back quite a lot. So, but my thought process was, okay, they're doing much better from a pass block standpoint. At least we haven't gotten sacks. But like you said, last week they lived in our backfield, so they were pressuring Jimmy and kind of making it uncomfortable for him. But my thing is, I'm like, this running game has to get going at some point. You know, I know that Josh didn't have a camp, but at some point, you know, his instincts, you know, he'll get it together. So I'm hopeful of that. I'm hoping that on top of them pass blocking, okay, we'll be all right. I don't know, man.
He looks slow too. That's the other thing. He doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't care what people say. You miss camp, you miss OTAs, you miss that prep. It doesn't matter how much you're squatting, how much you're running, how much weight you're pushing in the gym.
Right.
It's not like real touching. It's not like real practice. It's not like live ball. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to take him a few weeks to get in the rhythm. And you saw that last year. He didn't have his first 100-yard game till like week 4?
Yeah, it's like week 3 or 4. Yep.
Yeah. So it's like I'm kind of expecting it, you know, and that's the thing with Pittsburgh. They got the worst, like one of the worst rush defenses in the league.
Right.
They're fast and they're undersized. They wreak havoc in the sack game, but in the run game, they're bad. So this is a game for him to blow up on.
And plus, we got to use their aggression against them. Like, honestly, like if we do any screens all year, it needs to be this week. Let TJ and them, you know, pin their ears back and rush us, and let's hit them with the screens and even wide receiver screens, stuff like that. Like get the ball in our ball hand or our playmakers' hands. But no, that's a good point though. Good point. So just kind of taking a look at like the defense. So I didn't realize. So our defense is bad, but you know, one area of concern I gotta say is like just the red zone. I mean, like my thing for our defense to be even like during Gus Bradley, I feel like even the Gus Bradley days, we had like a bend don't break defense. Like, you know, like once they got to the red zone, we used to make them settle for a field goal, at least sometimes. But now it's like so far 7 touchdowns out of 10 trips, ranked 22nd. Like we got to learn how to just bend and don't break, man. Make these guys kick some field goals, at least until our offense turns it up, man. Offensive red zone, 6 visits, only 3 touchdowns. That's ranked 21st. And our offensive ranked. We're ranked 30th with 27 points and 501 yards. So ranked 30th in both, man. So what do you guys think about that, man? Just after seeing that, I mean, I'm sure it doesn't surprise you guys. MP3.
Yeah, man. Are you talking offensively? What we can do better, or?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Just like what can you do better, or like, do we, you know, are these areas of concern? You know, do you think there's something that's going to be like just, I won't say a one-off because it's been 2 games, but do you think there's something that's going to fix itself, or are these going to be some issues that's going to stagger throughout the season?
I'd hope not. You know, that's where the coaches come in, and you know, gotta fix these wrinkles. You know, obviously the players got to execute; they got to go out there. But what I seen this past week was our defense not aggressive enough. When we were aggressive and we blitz, you know, Diablo's getting a sack, or at least getting Josh rattled. The touchdown he made, it was blitz. Spillane almost got to him, and he just makes, you know, an awesome throw. But yeah, I just feel like, man, let's put some pressure on these guys this week. Yeah, we got to switch it up. We got to turn up the heat, man, because we're just a little too conservative on both sides of the ball, in my opinion. You know, Max, yeah, he's giving his max effort, Max doing his thing, but at times to me, he's a little over aggressive. You know, and he's going inside because that's what they're giving him. And as soon as he does that, the first 2 weeks with Russ and with Allen, you know, that gives they're taking out to the right. So he needs to contain that edge. Like I said, Spillane needs to learn to wrap up. I haven't really heard Marcus Peters' names being called much. I would like him to be more vocal out there as a leader, you know, get in these other cornerbacks' face and, you know, give these young guys, you know, some motivation, some fire under them. Let's go. And this rivalry coming up this week, you guys already know what it is. Last year, we should have won out there. Let's come home. Let's protect the dome. Let's come out all cylinders firing. Jimmy G, you gotta take care of the ball, bro. That's why we brought you here, and we also brought you here to be efficient in the red zone.
Yeah.
So let's do that. Let's do that this week.
For sure. What do you think, Josh?
Coaching. That's my problem. First of all, Graham was a bum in New York. Like, he had a bottom-ranked defense in New York. He got the job because he's one of Ziegler's and McDaniel's boys. He coached with McDaniel's, got a ring, with the Patriots. But the dude's not a good coordinator. Like, he had a bottom-of-the-league defense last year. It's on the same pace this year. Then before in the Giants, it was bottom of the league. Like, when are you going to give a guy so many chances to realize, like, hey, this guy ain't it? And obviously it's not working. You get Epps and you get Peters, who were better replacements than what we had last year.
Yeah.
Peters, it's the end of his career, but he's still better than what we had.
I agree.
I people were saying like Rock Ya-Sin. I'm like, PFF rated Rock Ya-Sin as like one of the better corners in the NFL. I'm like, yeah, he's not, because they don't throw at him that much.
Right.
But it's just, it seems like we actually got decent players to surround Crosby finally. And to me, it seems like it's coaching now. It's not like there's real issues with the players and the personnel. Like, our linebacking core is a little suspect, and it always has been. That seems to be a problem with us. But to me, it's coaching. Like, our defense it gets tore up. There's no adjustments. People are doing what they want. And, and you look at Wilson, like, who's a raw talent. He needs coaching. He's not going to come in. Yeah. He's not going to come in and be an all-star. Like, he's just a big, huge, athletic guy that needs coaching, and Graham's not doing it.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. I'm a well-documented person that likes, I like our coaching staff, but again, I'm very objective. So I agree with Graham. I'm one of those guys. I like I'll say I like the X's and O's, like analytical type coaches. So, I like coaches that a lot of people don't like, but I wanted to give Graham a chance because I'm thinking that, okay, with the right people, he'll be able to do something. But in that same breath, it's like, one thing I expect from a coach like that is to make halftime adjustments, or not even wait to halftime, make adjustments on the fly, have your team prepared for anything. And we just I think we did a pretty good job in week 1, but week 2, the Bills were a better team. I'm not, there's no debating that, but my biggest thing is just the mentality. Like, those guys just didn't have that nastiness to them that we used to have. And it really bothered me seeing guys just getting pushed off the ball and getting bullied. I can't stand that. Like, I don't mind those, like I said, those high energy plays, like Jacorian Bennett. I love watching that kid play. I know he's made some mistakes, but he's making mistakes running 100 miles per hour and giving it his all. I can live with that. He'll grow. He'll get better. But like Tyree, man, it's I don't know. I have a real problem with what I saw last week. I really do. To me, it's like a mentality thing.
Well, you see the videos of him like online. Like, he's a big kid. Like, he's laughing, he's goofing around.
Yeah,
he's not a killer. Like, he's not a killer.
Yeah, he's not.
And you see him, and it's like he looks like he's having fun, like haha, joking around, and like he's sitting there in his super small jersey, just like
I don't like that.
And I'm like, man, you see people like Aaron Donald, like, don't touch me, get away from me.
Right, no laugh, right.
Yeah, like when it's game time, they don't mess around. And I think it's going to take some time, because he is just a big kid. He's 22 years old, just a massive 22-year-old. And it's going to take time and coaching. And the thing is, if you don't coach him right, he's going to be another Farrell, just a big athletic guy didn't pound out.
Yeah, that's going to be a tragedy, because at the end of the day, at pick 7, do you even pick someone like that? Like, do you? Because
I would have gone with Carter. I would have gone with Carter. When I was at the draft, and I literally did a video. Oh, they're gonna get Carter. That guy's a savage. Like, he's just a nasty interior D lineman. Like, even though they needed outside help, best player available was Carter. And we took him. Yeah, and I was like, wait, what? Why? And I was like, yeah, he's a great pass rusher, but that's it. And is that going to translate? And, somebody asked me about him when we drafted him. I was like, he's so athletic. He might stumble into 5 sacks this year, but he's not going to look good. He's just, he's raw. And it's like, you don't draft raw talent top 10. You draft somebody that's polished and they're going to be better.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think, MP3, about that?
As far as Wilson?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm getting like you guys said, I'm getting the Pharaoh vibes. It's only 2 weeks in, but yeah, like why do we always gotta draft somebody that's
that's a project?
Yeah, bro. Like why? Can we just
every
draft
year?
Yeah, like come on, man. It's just that's an impact player that's gonna come in and do exactly what we need him to do. And yeah, it's just like watching this dude out there slow. It literally does look like he's still bothered by that foot. Like what else can you equate that to? The slowness, but it's week 2, man, and like you guys said, it's maybe he needs to be coached up. But yeah, I like my player to have that killer instinct, man, and he does seem like a big goofy kid, and
right. I just don't like that, man.
And then from the scouting standpoint, like they see that when they interview these guys, like what type of person they are,
right?
We want somebody not kid-like, but maybe in between that and Bill Romanowski, not too crazy, but somewhere
opposite.
Somewhere,
right.
Somewhere
like not the teddy bear, but someone that would literally probably kill you. Either way.
Yeah, but yeah, man. Like 2 weeks in, let's not give up on the kid. Hopefully he gets coached up. Hopefully he has a moment where it builds his confidence. And yeah, hopefully Max is always in his ear, mentoring that kid and just trying to uplift him. Raider Nation got to get behind him. He is our first rounder.
Yeah.
And I just hope they didn't miss on this regime's first rounder. So
for sure. And honestly, I mean, if we don't get things together, I don't think at any point McDaniels will lose his job unless things like really snowball effect out of control. But this year is Graham's chance to really prove it, because I was saying in I think my show yesterday or the other day, but Graham had a chance. I mean, he really had his pick of the draft. I mean, you could tell they let him really have this draft. For the most part. I mean, he was able to be there during the Senior Bowl, be able to spend time with these kids. I just don't know, man. I don't know. And it just like Josh said, is like you think about just how goofy, and the thing is, it's okay to like have a personality and stuff, but I'm sorry, on defense, like I want my guy to be like, what's his name? What was that linebacker from Pittsburgh? That like never smiled. It was just always mad.
Oh, like not Porter. The other guy.
The other guy.
The bald one. Oh my God. I know you're talking about
Harrison. Yeah. Like I want somebody on the team like that you just like, man, don't even talk to that dude. Like he's like banging his head into the locker before the game.
Top tier defensive players, like they're not nice. They're mean. They're nasty. Yeah. Like I'm a huge fan because I like Nebraska, but I'm a huge fan of Adama Suh. Like he was just dirty, and everybody knew he was dirty, and then he backed it up for a long time.
That's what I'm saying. That's what man. No, you're so right. Like I mean, you think of Ray Lewis, you think of Urlacher, you think all those guys. I mean, you have some guy like I think just in the past. I don't know how old you guys are, but probably the only nice guy that was like a beast on defense was Reggie White. I remember hearing stories about him like throwing guys to the ground. He'll help the offensive lineman up. Like God loves you, and so do I. He was like a reverend, man. But besides that, all the real beasts, they were like assholes, man. They were tough, and I don't know, man. I'm not giving up on him. I want him to do well, but it's something about the mentality, because I feel like you can't teach that. You either got it or you don't. So
I think the whole Jones situation really messed everything up too, because I think Wilson was going to be that rotational player that's going to be on third downs, build that confidence, because he's not a run stopper. He's a pass rusher. They're going to pen back, go after the quarterback. They're going to limit his plays. And then Jones gets, his whatever the hell's going on with him. And now Wilson's like, hey, now you got to play, man. Sorry. And, it's next man up mentality. It's the NFL. It's cutthroat. But, like, I don't think he was ready to start. I thought he would start by the end of the year.
Yeah.
But
he would have to earn it, though.
Yeah, I would think, like, he would come in, like, be a great pass rusher, get coached up a little bit, get that confidence, get it out of his head, and be like, all right, game 10, game 12, when the age sets in for Jones, he gets a little tired. All right, Wilson's going to be playing a lot more, And it's just
honestly, no, that's true. Because when I thought about it, like I remember that Giants defense back when they won the Super Bowl, when they had Strahan and Justin Tuck, but then JPP came off of the bench. Wait, was it JPP?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, JPP came off the bench, and he still made an impact. You know what I'm saying? Like he came in on third downs and was able to. And I think he may not have been a rookie, but he was like still a young player at that point.
Yeah, they had him and OC. It was him and OC or Human Euro.
OC, that's what I'm thinking.
That's what it was, yeah.
OC, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, like he came in and he played that role well, and then he later, he had a pretty decent career after that. But I mean, that's kind of how I thought that transition was going to be. So yeah, I think that Chandler Jones thing did kind of put a wrench in it.
Hey, but we're going to get out of a $20 million contract, so look at the bright side.
Yeah, but the only thing is, man, that I think that whole thing takes a while for it to go through, man. Because have we got anything back from Arnett? Like, did we try to do that with Arnett and even Ruggs? Did we get any money back from that?
I have no idea.
I think they take it off the cap. So Ruggs' cap's not on our anymore. The signing bonuses or anything. I think they take it off and then they have to go after the player and get it back.
Okay.
But if he's on the inability to perform without a football injury, so like that's no different than some guy. Yeah, it's like no different some guy getting in a motorcycle accident.
Right.
They're not liable to pay you. Like you did something out of the norm that caused you not to play your contract. Your contract's null and void. So that's what they're probably going to be shooting for. And knowing the Raiders, they're going to win that because they go against contracts all the time and win.
All the time.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm pretty optimistic that we're going to get out of that.
Yeah. That is one thing that we know, man. I don't forget Al Davis with the overhead projector talking about old Lane Kiffin firing them for calls.
Yeah.
Those are the days, man. Let me go to some of the comments real quick, man. Let's see. The Steelers can't beat us at home going back to the days in Oakland. Yeah, I think we beat the Steelers the last, I think, 5 times at home. So yeah, we've had their number. Thankfully they kicked him field goals all worth 4 points. MP3s in the Sky Cave like Aaron Rodgers. I'll tell you.
Get that ayahuasca going, huh?
right. Let's see. The Raiders fan, or that Raiders fan. The question is, do we have a franchise quarterback in Aiden O'Connell? Remains to be seen. What do you guys think about that, man? I think it's all just kind of remains to be seen. We got to see how well he's getting coached behind the scenes. He showed some promise, but as we know, preseason is not the real thing. Yeah. So
I'm a numbers guy too. So you look at quarterbacks that are drafted. Who do you think usually wins Super Bowls? Who do you think usually wins playoff games? It's first and second round quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's like the outlier, and Russell Wilson. Beyond that, it's something like, I don't know, 80%. It's some crazy high number. I'd have to look it up again. I was talking to somebody about this. After the second round, that talent pool just goes at quarterback. Yeah. So it's a hit or miss. But yeah, he's 25 already. He had some injuries in college, so like he's a grown ass man already. He's not a kid,
right?
So
he don't got much time to develop.
Yeah,
like, dude,
I think he'll be a solid backup if Jimmy G gets hurt and things like that. But I don't think he's an answer. He's still a rookie.
Right.
This is the thing. We're not the 49ers. We're not going to drop a quarterback in and he's going to win his first like 7 or 8 games. That's not going to happen. So
Yeah, people kill me. Like they literally want to like bench Jimmy already, and it's like, come on, like you guys got to realize you can't just do like I don't know if it's like we have so many fans that are like Madden players or like they're just all into fantasy football, but they're like, yeah, it's like they are so out of like the reality of how this really goes, man. Like you can't just like bench your quarterback like that. Like you got to think about the morale of the team. I mean, the team loves Jimmy. I mean, you could tell that the players love him. No matter what people want to say, you could tell Devontae likes Jim. Like you could tell the guys like him, man. So it's like you can't just bench him. So
yeah. And nobody's ever questioned Jimmy's worth ethic or his game ethic. Nobody's ever. They're like, he gets in there, he watches tape, he tries. You know, he just makes some dumb mistakes here and there. And the thing is, like I told people, like he's not an explosive player. He holds the ball, he controls the ball, and then on top of that, he doesn't turn it over very often. I don't know what the hell's happening this year. I know a couple of the turnovers weren't his fault, but I'm not going to go down that road because like a pick's a pick to me.
Right.
You know, I don't go say, oh, he dropped it, so it's, you know, not his fault. But, you know, last year he had like a turnover ratio to 4-1, which is just, it's outrageous. That's Aaron Rodgers numbers. Like he doesn't turn the ball over. That's what he's good at, you know? So we just need that run game, man. That's what we need.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, MP3?
Yeah, like Josh hit on. We get that run game going. I think everything else, you know, will fall into place, man. Drives will be, you know, extended. Keep the defense off the field, and you know, I feel, you know, the Steelers, they got gashed week 1 and 2 by McCaffrey, and then, you know, Chubb had like 60 some yards in the first quarter on like 10 carries, so he was on his way to having a big night against them, and his backup Ford comes in and does his thing against them. So, like I said, hopefully Josh got in their ass this week in practice. Like, you know, everything was reported. He had a chip on his shoulder this week. So hopefully they went hard in practice this week. And like I said, man, they come out with this dog mentality because they already know what it is this week, man.
Right.
It's going to be rocking. And I expect a lot of terrible, ugly yellow flags in the building. But
don't say that, man. Don't say that.
Yeah, ugly asshole. Yellow,
yeah, bro.
Looks like mustard. It's ugly.
Right.
Yeah, whatever, you know. But you know, I fully expect Raider Nation to show up and show out. Man, I just want to build that true home field advantage in Vegas, bro. You know, it's nothing like Oakland. You know, I got to experience Oakland twice, and bro, it was majestic. And you know, I've been to Vegas a few times to catch some games, and you know, we're getting there. But you know, like everybody talks about Vegas being a vacation destination, and teams are going to want to come in, and it's up to us to, not me personally, but season ticket holders, to not sell those tickets to Steeler fans. And you know, let's build that home field advantage there. And it starts this Sunday night. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
I see a lot of people like the selling ticket thing. I see a lot of people last year. This is when we were losing. Like, I don't want to go. They're losing, or I hate McDaniels, so I'm protesting and selling my tickets. And I'm like, dude, we didn't do that in Oakland.
Yeah,
like,
right.
It's like I was laughing. You ever see the meme where I can't remember what movie it's from. James Franco's getting hung, and he's like, "Oh, first time." I'm like, you never had a losing season before? We've been losing for years, and we still got a game.
Yeah, like, are you new? Like, you're mad now? Like
and that's the thing. I told people, like, a lot of people got priced out, and you get people. It's not diehard fans that can go now. It's people like, hey, do you have the money to go now?
Right.
You know, so a lot of people are selling their things for profit. Like, you know, my tickets, like a couple games I can't go to on a Thursday, and they're selling for like 3 times the value. Like, it's insane. And, you know, I'm like, that's just nuts to me, that how much they go for.
Yeah, it's crazy. And honestly, and the thing is, you can't really blame the fans, because it's like, at the end of the day, the Raiders are getting their money, you know, I mean, but it's like, you can't blame the fans. But, you know, I think once we start winning, you know, that will be different. But I will say, though, I don't think we'll ever, I mean, I know we'll never have that same Oakland vibe.
No.
You know, it just won't happen, because me and Spicy Raider Girl, we always laugh, man, because like whenever we go to games, man, it's like when you're at a game in Oakland, like, you could just tell fans are just so real, like they know what they're doing. But then you like go to Vegas and like fans are doing the wave, like I don't know why that bothers me, man. Like, sit your ass down. I don't want to see you doing the wave, man. So it's like stuff
that's
like
white people shit,
right? White claws and doing the wave. Like, come on, man. Let's see. Real Men, Real Raiders. What's up, man? Thanks for coming through, buddy. My boy Randy says, bring back Rod Marinelli. I agree. Rod Marinelli was like, Max loves him. That's like Max's mentor for one. But, you know, I think Marinelli or what's the name? Buckner. Those are like those guys. Like, he had the lines like at least aggressive and all that stuff. So I would love to see something like that come back. Let's see, that Raiders fan. That's exactly what I thought about Tyree Wilson, big goofy kid. Right. I hate that he does. He's like, man. He's a Raider, so I gotta love him. But come on, man. Like, stop smiling all the time. Get an attitude. Max Crosby should chew him out and get on his ass. Hopefully he does. Rob Ryan for defensive coordinator. He was our defensive coordinator from 04 to 08. See,
those weren't good years for us.
Right. So, and to be honest, and I know most of the people that's in the chat, like hopefully most of you guys have saw my interview with you, Jackson. And one thing that I learned, man, is like, no matter who our defensive coordinator was, like during that time, it ultimately was Al Davis. So like he didn't give, the defensive coordinators really permission to do anything that didn't go through Al Davis. He usually let the offense be ran by whoever the coordinator was or the coach. But defense was all Al. So that's why, like, during those Rob Ryan years, it was like we never blitzed. We always ran man all the time. Every now and then we'll do cover 3. But then when Rob Ryan went to the Browns and Saints and all, like, he was blitzing up stuff, and he had some of the best defenses in the league. So that's why. So I don't know. If Rob Ryan came back as the defensive coordinator, he would at least have a dog mentality. So I don't know. What you guys got any thoughts on Rob Ryan, or you don't care either way?
I mean, he's better than what we got, if we're going to be honest. Right. And you know, Rob Ryan works for us, right?
No, yeah, I know. I think that's what he said. He's like a special assistant or whatever.
Yeah. See his beautiful gray hair running around the sideline every once in a while,
and his godly physique.
Yeah,
like me, man.
But I mean, I honestly, I think it was that he said, was it him that said he didn't want to come back because he had some health issues or something like that? Or was that his brother? I can't remember which one it was.
It must be him, because I know because Rex was I think
Rex interviewed for the Denver job. Right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Sure did.
Yeah, so I think it's probably had some health issues. That's why he's just an assistant and helping out. But
that makes sense.
I mean, I don't like Graham, so I mean, I don't know what else to say. Graham's been a coordinator since 2018 or 19 or something, and has had one defense that was like broke the top 20. Everything else bottom in the league.
Yeah,
So, and people are like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, look it up. Like, he had the worst defense in the league, like the 28th, 27th, and then he had one good year with New York, and that's it. Other than that, trash.
Yeah, and then they try to say like he didn't have that much talent in the Giants, but I mean, he had some players, but I don't know, man. I'm just tired of the excuses, and again, I want him to do well. I want him to get it right. I was very happy about stuff I heard about, during the joint practices and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, these guys are flying around, but it doesn't translate on the field, so we'll see. Strike Vader, what's up, my guy? Man, my boy, he said, hopefully Bilal, Extra Pickles Nichols, and Jerry Tillery shows up this week. Bilal Nichols, man. Gosh,
those
Bilal
two.
Nichols, man. Come on, man. Like, honestly, I was so on like Bilal Nichols, because especially during this whole Josh Jacobs thing when he was holding out and we didn't want to give him no money. I'm like, we're still paying Brandon Parker, Bilal Nichols, and Brandon Bolden. Don't tell me we don't have no money for JJ. So I don't know. Let's see. They don't know how to be Raider fans in Las Vegas. I know. Unfortunately, I don't know.
Oh man, I got some stories about that.
Oh yeah. I want to hear it. Let me know.
All right. I'll tell you my favorite one. So me and my buddy, during COVID, we'd go to Vegas to watch the games, and we'd go to the sports bars and stuff. We're like, hey, we can't go to the game, so might as well go to Vegas, check it out, do the tours and shit. And so we're in the Raider Image the first week that they opened, and some guy walks up, and he's wearing a Woodson jersey. And we're like, hey, just chopping up on him. Yeah, we're from California, drove out here just to watch the game. And he's like, yeah, man, I'm really excited about this year. You're like, yeah, we are too. We should do pretty good. He's like, yeah, Abrams, he's a great running back. I think he's going to be our number one top runner. I'm like,
oh my God.
You messed that all the way up.
Yeah. He thought Jonathan Abrams was a running back and then grabbed his jersey and went and bought it. And I was like, me and my buddy literally stopped like, all right, hey, we got to go. Sorry, man. And literally just walked out of the conversation. And I shit you not, 100% true. In the Raider Image. And I was just like, wow. just fucking wow.
Yeah, like this. That would never happen in Oakland.
No.
Raider image over there by Walmart. That was my Raider image right there.
That was a spot, man. You go to Starbucks, you get your coffee, you go to the Raiders, you get your gear, you go to Walmart, get your beer, and you go tailgate. Done.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
You might even get some eggs at Denny's while you're at it. You know?
Right, there you go. And half the time, Jim Otto might be there just chilling. You know what I'm saying? He's always there at that one.
I saw him and Tim Brown were always at that Denny's for some reason. Yeah,
just chilling. Oh, man, that's crazy. Let's see, man. That Raiders fan... He said, I'm not going to lie. I did the wave once. Then I said to myself, what the hell was that? Yes, you should always say that. Never do the wave. We're just taking some Raiders card. You no longer have your Raider card. Let's see. Bring back Ken Norton Jr. No. No. Ken Norton used to piss me off, man. Let's see. We're going on a winning streak here. Beat the Steelers, Chargers, Packers, Patriots, and Bears. It could happen. It could happen. But this defense has to step up. I mean, at the end of the day, until we get this defense together, I'm scared of all those teams. Let's see. I got mad love for Rob Ryan, but we need a young, innovative dude that brings heat from different directions, not this soft zone Graham is running. I agree, man. We got to get if we can't get pressure with the front four, you got to bring extra guys. You got to. Jonathan Pena, the GOAT 209. Fan of you, Josh. But no, that's all good stuff. So then I was also reading an article from SB Nation. So it was talking about 5 things to watch for this game. So one thing they said, got to have a hot start. So I didn't realize. So we scored on the first drive in 7 straight weeks, which is the current longest streak in the NFL. Did you guys know that? I know that.
Nah.
But it don't matter if we don't score on drive 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, come on, we gotta keep scoring, man. Keep it going. Yeah. So they said that. And they said, will we be able to run the ball? So we got to be able to establish a run.
Yeah.
Number 3, contain TJ Watt. Watt is tied for the league in sacks. The Raiders are the only team that hasn't given up a sack this year, which that could still be deceiving because Jimmy was looking uncomfortable at times. We need to mess with Kenny Pickett. Need to pass rush, and then we need to win the turnover battle. Currently, we are at 4 giveaways, 0 takeaways. What do you guys think about those 5 things to watch? You agree, disagree? Anything missing?
Number 1 to me is the Steelers' offense. So our offense is playing like crap. We have talent.
Oh, they're trash. Yeah, they're trash.
The Steelers' offense is just bad. Like
trash. Yeah.
Kenny Pickett is not that good. Pickens is. I tell people Pickens is he's a true number 1. If he had a quarterback, he would ball out.
Oh yeah.
But Najee Harris is slow. He underperforms. He's a tailback, but he's not that good. He's slow. He's not very athletic. So their offense is bad. So if our defense is going to step up, this is the game. If our defense is going to get a turnover, this is the game. Yeah. And that's the number 1 issue we always had. We don't get sacks. We don't get turnovers. And it's repeating itself this year. So that to get that confidence, that's this game. And then the run game, obviously, that's number 1. Number 1. Yeah. I don't even care about Watt. Let him run. He's going to get a sack or 2. That's just what's going to happen. He's a monster. But, you use that against him, Run draws, run counters, run screens, as you're saying. That's perfect for him. And that's how people eat up the Steelers' defense.
Exactly. What do you think, MP3?
Yeah, Josh touched on just about everything. I agree with the list of things we have to do to beat them this week. I said last week Josh was going to have a huge game. That was my feeling. Obviously, I was wrong. I feel like the offensive line steps up this week, and I'm doubling down on my bet. Got some poker chips for you guys. I'm doubling down.
There you go. Double down.
and Josh is having a big week against this sorry ass Steelers run defense. And we got Jacoby coming back. Devontae's cleared from concussion protocol. So we got our dynamic duo. Jimmy's just got like Josh said, he might get a sack or 2. Watt's going to do his thing. But yeah, let's get the ball out quick. Let's run the ball. let's make. Can we get a turnover on defense, please? For the love of God, I'm tired of seeing these defenses over the years that just don't entertain me. Please, I want something to cheer for on the defensive side of the ball. And yeah, let's get the house rocking, man. That's all I gotta say about that.
No, for sure. With you know, and honestly, so I always think about you know, Watt is such a beast, man. And it's almost like Max. Sometimes Max can kind of disappear, but I feel like someone like Watt always like disrupts the game. So I really need Max to do that. But on the flip side, I need the refs. Like I don't care, man. Like before the game, like they need to get in the refs' ears. Like, hey, watch what this tackle is going to do to Max, because they hold the hell out of him every damn play, man. So we got to get that in the refs' ear. But at the end of the day, it's not a penalty if they don't see it, man. So
I wish we could start to challenge that stuff, because some of these are just absolutely blatant. Like the one going around, the picture going around where the Bills tackle
had him in the headlock. Yeah, had him in the headlock.
I'm like, how is that not a hold? Like, how is that not a hold? That is a hold 100% of the time. And did you not see it, or like what happened?
Or you didn't see it, or you didn't care. Like, and I'm not a guy that like wants to blame the refs for stuff. Like, I'm all about self accountability, whatever. You know, refs, you know, calls go both ways. But at some point, man, it's like, I mean, there's so many pictures and examples of like dudes like literally choking out Max, man. It's like, come on, man. It's not even funny. And then like, and for the life of me, like these refs need to be held accountable for, like, if you reach into your pocket and throw the flag, like you have to be able to say you saw something. Like you shouldn't be able to throw the flag and then talk to your little buddies and then pick up the flag and say, never mind, there was no flag. Like on that pass interference, like you literally were right there. You saw something that made you say, hey, this is an infraction. I'm going to throw this yellow flag as a penalty. And all of a sudden you regroup with the refs, and now you pick it up and there's no flag. Like I don't know. There has to be some kind of accountability there. Refs need, I don't know how I don't know if they have any like KPIs to look at if they do well or not, like any grading system, but you can't, I don't know, man. I don't know.
They do, but it's a little less inaccurate than like baseball, because baseball's, you know, balls and strikes. Yeah. So, but they review all the calls. They review like non-calls, things like that. But I mean, it's ever changing. Like compare reffing from today versus 3 to 4 years ago. It's gotten leaps and bounds better, but they're still missing stuff left and right. And we may be a little biased because we're Raider fans. Yeah. And they hate the Raiders. You know, there's that whole, you know, conspiracy theory. But the thing is, like, you see blatant stuff, and you're like, man, if that roles reversed, would we get away with it? I don't think so.
Never.
We would never. That's what I told him. I'm like, okay, let's say, you know, Colton Miller held Oliver like that, or you know, held one.
They would call that
like
so fast.
Is that it was like, is that a hold? You know, yeah, it is.
And like, it's crazy. It's crazy. That really bothers me, man. But again, so one thing that I know we're really got to look at. So I was looking at 3 key matchups to watch. Of course, Illuminor and Watt. And I didn't realize that so Illuminor, he hasn't given up, according to the stats, he hasn't given up 0 pressures this year. And then there's only 2 other offensive tackles that have done that this year. And then last year when they battled, Illuminor, he held his own. He only got beat twice by Watt, which, I mean, you know, if you can hold Watt to only beating you twice, I'm cool with that. So again, Watt's going to win sometimes. We know that's going to happen. So, you know, I hope he can hold his own, but I don't know. How scared are you guys about that matchup? Because I'm almost more scared of on the other side, because I'm not the biggest Colton Miller fan. So I know a lot of people want to act like he's like an elite tackle. I mean, I think he's mid, you know, he's mid, but I'm scared about that other, what's the other outside backer? What, Hightower or something?
Yeah. Hightower's fast.
Yeah, that dude's I mean, from a pass rush standpoint, he could be a problem.
I think Jimmy gets the ball in his hands fast enough, so he doesn't hold the ball. I mean, you know, I don't want to bring up Carr, but he doesn't hold on to the ball like Carr does. He gets rid of it. So I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. And the thing is, Jermaine held his own last year. as an insert replacement player. Now he actually has some coaching. He's actually a little more confident, and you're starting to see that because he was, by the end of last year, he was doing really good pass blocking. We're like, where the hell did this guy come from? We thought our right tackle was just going to get obliterated every game.
Yeah.
So I think he'll hold his own. He'll probably give up a sack, maybe a couple pressures. Best case scenario, no sacks, but I think Watt's going to get one in there.
Yeah.
But I'm not worried about it because, it's Jimmy G throwing the ball away. Yeah. I think he's smart enough with his pocket presence, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm more worried about us not being able to get our run game going. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
So because honestly, man, like Nick Chubb was starting to heat up.
Oh, he was demolishing them.
Yeah, like he was heating up, man.
We have so many issues on offense. I don't know what we have. So many weapons. We have so many Pro Bowlers. We have so much speed and size, and we're not doing anything with it. Like I'm like, what's going on? Because last year, to our left side, like we were just demolishing people. Running. Parham's not a pass blocker. He's a rush blocker. He's a mauler. 6 foot. Yeah, 6 foot, 300 pounds. Like yeah, like he's massive.
Yeah.
So we saw a lot of that, but now they're just getting beat off the ball, and we're playing musical chairs with our right guard, and Rotten just looks absolutely horrible. I was joking with somebody. I'm like, he has something on the coaches. There's no way that guy should be starting. Like
that's how I felt about Brandon Parker. I felt about honestly, Brandon Parker was the worst.
Yeah.
Football player. Like I don't know, but between him and Leatherwood, I can't even say he was worse, man. Like my ass could get out there and do better than what Brandon Parker did, but I don't know, man. I'm kind of like you. I do think Jimmy, he does get the ball out quick. But again, we need to see a lot of counters, stuff that that will hurt people that are extra aggressive, a lot of screens. So we'll see. MP3, how do you feel about our matchup, just our offensive line versus their D line?
Yeah, like you hit on, they're tenacious, but they can be a little over aggressive, and we could use that against them with the screens. Get the ball out quick. That's what Jimmy does best. I feel like he doesn't have the deep ball that our ex-quarterback did. So, we brought him in to be this system quarterback where, he gets the ball out quick. If we pound the rock, man, that's going to be the key to the game. Let's pound the rock, protect the ball. Like I said, Watt's going to get his. Fitzpatrick's on the defensive side. They're a good defense, man, but like Josh hit on, we got enough weapons on offense. There's no excuses. Josh, open up the playbook. Let's go, man. Why do we have all these superstars on the offensive ball if you ain't going to use them? So that's my thoughts.
That's a good point. So again, I'm always known as a guy that kind of fights back, does a devil's advocate for McDaniels. So, when I went back and kind of just watched some of the film, the all 22, there was at least 3 plays that Hunter was like wide open. And again, I think Jimmy's going to get there because Jimmy usually makes pretty good decisions. He knows where to go with the ball pre-snap. But again, like we talk about coaching, we talk about play calling, but when there's literally like guys running down the field open, like is that play calling or is that just players' lack of execution? So and actually that's for you, Josh, because I know you're.
I would say it's because he's a first-year quarterback. I don't think it's execution, more or less. Because if you look at, Jimmy does have some issues reading the field at times, and you saw that in Frisco too as well. He has nowhere near the offensive weapons in Frisco that he did here.
Right, I agree.
100%. It's just. But the thing is, he did miss reads. He did make stupid throws here and there, but he didn't turn the ball over. I think it's more or less because everybody's like, "Oh, it's McDaniel's offense. Jimmy G knows it." Like, when's the last time they played together?
7 years ago.
It's
7 years.
No, I looked it up the other day. I was like, 7 years, really?
Yeah, I hate when they say that.
I thought it was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I was like, time
7
flies.
years.
I'm like, that was 7 years ago. That was a long time ago. McDaniel's probably had a different offense. Offenses change, protocols change, language changes. Like, you have to treat this like this is a quarterback that knows something, but not everything. So I see it as that, like, you have a new quarterback in a new system, and he's going to miss reads, as the year goes on. So if you notice last year, as a year went on, our offense got better. There was times we looked lights out, and there was times where we just shit the bed and we looked non-existent, mainly in the second half. So I think he's going to get comfortable. He has 3 new receivers that he's never thrown to before, brand new tight end, brand new running back. He needs to learn where they're going to be, how they run routes. It's not, he doesn't have that connectivity with them as he did with his other number one receivers. Hey, if the linebacker's here or the safety's here or there's a 2 deep, you're going to cut in or cut out. Like, he doesn't know what his receivers are thinking yet. I think he'll get there later on in the year.
No, that's a good point. It's just like sometimes I just feel like people want to blame, because blaming the coach is like always the easiest route. It's always say, hey, coaching, but it's like when there's guys that's running down the field that's open. Like I don't know what else the coach can do besides. At least during the game, it's like all I can do is call the play, and hopefully the practice throughout the week will let the quarterback know, hey, if you get this look, you go here. If you get that look, you go here. So I don't know, man. Maybe I'm a little easier on Josh than most people, but so I don't know. We'll see. But at the end of the day, he's the lead of the team. He has to be held accountable if we lose. So
yeah.
Let's see. I need Tyree to start waiting for a commercial commercial break before he gets off the ball in his snap for sure.
He's on the injury report on ESPN as questionable too. So he's not on the Raider report, but he's on the ESPN report.
Well, I thought he was on the Raider report. I thought I saw that he was questionable for illness. I thought
they had on ESPN, because I was looking at it today. They have him as questionable for his ankle.
His ankle? I ain't hear that one. Wow.
That's what I said. I was like, okay.
Yeah, like whatever. So we should have 2 turnovers. If it wasn't for penalties, bring them back. That's true.
Yeah.
That one was crazy. That teamer interception. Let's see. I need Tyree Allsmiles Wilson to stop waiting for a commercial break before he finally gets to. I think Max disappears because he doesn't have interior help. I agree. Hey, can the water, or he can be the water boy. The whole team will love him. I would say next up. They had Max in Iron Sheik special move and didn't call a damn thing. That's true. They did. That's when the coaches get on the refs. That's true. 6-7 catches for Myers, 7-8 for Tay, and please 4-5 for Hunter and Mayer. Get JJ to the second level clean on defense. Make Pickett beat you, sack, turnover, and stop these shitty run games. I agree. I wish the God our coach was Dan Campbell. He gives off, Dan Campbell. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I like his energy, man. For the Lions, I do like him. The Steelers aren't the Bills, and we are not as bad as we looked last week. I agree, man. I think we definitely have to pick up, man. Put the rookie in. Thomas, don't start that. Don't start that, man. Let's see. McDaniels has a swagger of an irritated accountant. Calm down, man. Leave my coach alone, man.
He has no neck. Like, I saw McDaniels. He looked like that one dude off what was his name? No neck, off the reality show. Oh, what's his name? McDaniels in a suit and his head's like this.
I know.
First thing I was like, "Where's his neck at?"
He looks like a Lego character. He just put the head. Oh man, awesome. So I want to just take a couple minutes, man. Josh, you got any memorabilia, man, that is special to you? Anything that's cool that the people might want to see?
Well, 2 things.
A lot of stuff, man.
That's what I'm known for. So first and foremost, this is my actual seat from Oakland. I took it. It's mine.
Wow.
So I decided to take. I got more up on the wall.
When was it? You did at the Jacksonville game?
No, I took it the year before. I'm smart.
Oh shit. when they said originally that it was going to be.
Yeah. I was like, why would I take it? And then we got some more. What do you call it? The couple games before the season ending one. Because we knew everybody was in there, so we all wore ponchos and everything, and we just tucked them in our pants. So I have a cup holders, the full seat, and everything. It's mine. I was like, this is mine. I'm taking it, and this is probably one of my favorite things that I have. This is actually signed John Madden, full size, authentic.
Wow.
Oh wow!
So this is probably one of the cooler things I have. Yes, it is authenticated. It is real. So that's probably one of the cooler things. I love that helmet. I'll never get rid of it. Like that's one of my grails that I have. So I always tell people like I don't really party too much, not into anything like that. So like my high is getting memorabilia and go to Raider games.
That's fire, man. That's fire. So were you a fan like ever since a kid, just growing up, or when did you become like a diehard fan?
Yeah. So like I said, my stepdad was a diehard Raider fan. Every Sunday the game was on. He was always screaming at the TV at CBS whenever they were on. And from there we started watching games as a kid. One of the first players I met was Napoleon Kaufman, Harvey Williams. So got their autographs. And then one of the cool stories I tell, my mom ran a mortgage company, and she actually did LaMonica's mortgage for his house. So like I'm sitting at home and my mom's like, hey, you're going to come into the office. I'm doing a quarterbacks for the Raiders mortgage. So I got to meet him. He signed some stuff for me and things like that when I was a kid. And since then, like I've been a season ticket holder forever. So I don't miss very many games. I try to go as many as I can, take the kids with me now. So my kids are getting older. So it's like, I'm just a diehard Raider fan. So I know that's what makes I laugh when people are like, you're a fake fan. I'm like, no, I used to buy season tickets when Jamarcus played. So
hey man,
I tell people, I'm like, we used to get 2-for-1s. You buy one, they give you one free just because they wanted you to go.
Man, I love it, man. Because honestly, like that's like when I get in these debates like online and stuff, like people are so quick to be like, oh, you're not a real fan and all this. I'm like, dude, for one, I live in Ohio. And I go to more games than most people that live in Cali. And like I was there, I right now I literally got a Terrell Pryor jersey on. Like I, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been there.
State, nice.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like I was there like during them Jamarcus days. Like I remember being there at that opener against Denver, like when we had what was the name? Man? D'Angelo Hall got like killed for like 3 or 4 touches. Like I remember being like I was there, man. So like I don't know, man. Our fan base is something else. I can't.
And if you guys ever seen any of my stuff, like I'm a Fresno State season ticket holder too. I go to almost it depends like if I can go. Now my kids play football, so it's kind of hard. But like I'm at most Fresno State games. Like last year, I was on the sideline watching the game with Derek Carr and Devontae Adams while I was talking shit about Derek Carr.
Wow.
And so like everybody knows me is like, oh, that guy does not like Derek Carr, doesn't like the way he plays, stuff like that. And so I got literal death threats, like harassment, people talking crap about me and my kids just because I didn't like Derek Carr. You're fake, you're this, you're that. I'm like, no, I'm critical of a guy that's been losing for 8 years. Like I want something different.
That's it.
And oh man, we're in a toxic relationship with each other and with our team. Like
right. No, that's true, man. Like I try not to even talk about that much, man. But sometimes I get triggered, and then like I said, I'm one of those content creators that, like, a lot of times I try to keep it, cordial and and politically correct, man. But sometimes, man, I'm one of those guys that I'll snap back right at you, man. So I'll get down there with them, man. But it just, I don't know, man. But at the end of the day, I just want to start winning because that's the biggest thing that I just don't understand is. Like people called me a hater of him, but it's well documented. I was at games cheering for him. I always wanted him to do well. My thing now is like I just want that same thing for our current quarterback. Like I don't want our current quarterback to fail. So just because I'm rooting for my current quarterback makes me a fake. I don't know. It's so backward.
Yeah. And this thing too. Like I just posted it. Like some guy. I was watching the game, so like I said, my house is like a Dave & Buster. So I have 2 TVs in my living room so I can watch 2 games when they're both on at the same time. Mm-hmm. Or I can have Red Zone on and something else when I'm at home. And so I was watching the game. Derek Carr was 0-2 in the red zone, and I posted it. I'm like, this guy has the same problems, just has a better defense now. This guy slid my DM, was like, haha, we lost. Derek Carr won.
I saw that.
And he has his profile pic as a Raider symbol. And I'm like, and it says, It's like PC Raider kid. I'm like, bro, you're supposed to be a Raider fan, not a Carr fan.
It's unreal. It is unreal.
So, but hey, we're playing the Saints next year. That's going to be lit.
Oh my God! Yeah,
I'm gonna be in the front row. So Derek Carr blocked me on Instagram too, by the way.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah. I believe it. I made an edit of Deshaun Watson and number 4 and put it on there, and after that, I got blocked by the whole family. And so But yeah, I'm gonna be there in the first row. Just I'm gonna get kicked out. Like I don't.
I mean, for one, I ain't gonna lie. Like I love Miami, so I'm sure you travel a lot, man. But what's your favorite place to watch a game? Like I love Miami. I love I definitely love New Orleans. I've been there the last few times. Like last year was tough because we just got killed, but I had fun partying, so it didn't affect me as much. But then that game in 2016 when Crabtree caught that touchdown, or no, that was a 2-point conversion to win the game.
Yeah, to win the game.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was a crap. That was probably one of the funnest games I've ever been to.
There's two. One you're gonna hate me for saying. So Tennessee, not the fun to go to the game, fun to party.
Oh yeah. Oh
Tennessee,
yeah.
Tennessee is wild.
Yeah.
Nashville is probably one of the funnest places. I told people it's like Vegas, but with white girls and country music and just in boots.
The crazy thing, yeah, that main strip.
Yeah.
It's like all girls with the cowboy hats.
Cowboy hats.
Yeah.
And my friends were hella laughing. I'm like, this place is nuts. And then
You're not lying.
The other one is KC. Believe it or not, Kansas City fans, I've had nothing but good interactions with them in Kansas City.
Really?
Super friendly. Like I'll be walking the parking lot. They're like, hey, F you, F the Raiders. Are you hungry? You want a beer? Like the lady next to me made me sandwiches. And she was wearing my Holmes jersey. So like super nice people. Same thing with like the Bills Mafia. So I was at the Buffalo.
My boy
house.
just said that. He said that was a good time.
And I thought they were going to be mean because it's New York. I'm like, these people are going to be like Yankees fans. Like, no, complete difference. I told them, I'm like, hey, I appreciate your hospitality. Like they invited me. Some people I never even knew invited me into their home, fed me, like took pictures with my kid because they're all these super fans. So you see that a lot, where the fans are actually really nice, but places like Denver and LA, nope.
Oh man. Well, what about you, MP3? Have you been to any away games at any places or anywhere that you want to go?
Well, as you know, last time I was on here, I told you I grew up out in Kansas. So to watch my Raiders growing up, I had to go to Arrowhead. So
that's right, yeah.
To tie in like some memorabilia and a Raider story. It was my first time going to see the Raiders. They're playing Kansas City at Arrowhead in like 2006, maybe 2005. When was it? When Aaron Brooks took over for us at quarterback.
Oh, that probably was about like 06 or something.
06, yeah. So we ended up going to KC and we stayed in downtown Kansas City at the Westin. And we knew the Raiders were staying there. So we were down in the lobby, hoping to get an autograph or two. And the flag behind me, this is the flag that I had there. And I got a few like offensive linemen that we had that year. One that I recognize now is like Rashard Lee was a running back we had. And the last one that I got, bro, you can't really tell or can't see it, but it's up there, was the great Tom Flores. And I was just in awe, bro. He was really super nice, down to earth. He signed my flag. And the very next morning, I go down into the lobby to this is how old I am. I went back down the lobby to get some film for my camera. I didn't have a digital camera just yet. Yeah. So I'm standing right there, I just purchased it and I put it in my backpack. And in the Westin, they have a glass elevator. And I look to my left and sure enough, bro, I spot the iconic Raiders jacket that Al Davis always used to wear. And he's coming down the elevator with one of his assistants. And at this point, he's pretty up in age and he even had a walker getting off the elevator. And I just felt like, man, if I don't say something in this moment, like I'll never,
MP3 shot a shot. You were shooting your shot?
And it was like, yeah, I did. And it was, it was early in the morning. I approached him and he kind of looked at me in shock. And I asked his assistant, I was like, is it cool if I shake his hand? He was like, no, you can't do that. And I was like, well, good luck today. And that was it. But that was my moment.
That's fire, though. That's fire.
Yeah, I look into the eyes of the franchise, man. And so, yeah, man, that was 2006. And my other piece, the Josh Jacobs piece, is I told you guys about the last show about 2 years ago. He did a meet and greet in Vegas, and I painted a picture Josh Jacobs. I gifted it to him, and he signed my jersey. So yeah, those are my two pieces and two cool ass stories.
That's fire, man. That's fire. I love that, man. I love that. Well, shoot, guys. So, real quick, man. So I guess, we kind of touched on it a little bit, but before we wrap this up, man, just give me like 2 keys to victory for the game. Like, give me 2 on offense, 2 on defense, and then we will wrap it up, man. Want to kick us off, MP3?
Offense, as I stated last week, and we didn't end up doing, was run the ball efficiently. With Jacobs, I'm doubling down and saying we get it going this week against that Steelers defense. And like I said last week, we didn't do take care of the ball. Don't turn over the ball. That's gonna be big. On the defensive side, let's go get us one. We need to win that turnover battle.
Yeah.
Let's wrap up this week. Let's tackle well. And Patrick Graham, mix it up, man. Let's bring some heat. Let's bring some blitzes. Let's mix it up and get a little creative out there. I was a little bored last week with it. So those are my keys.
For sure. Sounds good. Josh, what about you, man?
I'm going to go a little different route. Time of possession. If you watch the first and the second game
drives. Yep.
Oh, my God. Like, even though we didn't have any 3 and outs, really, we'd get to the midfield and we'd be done. And that's the thing, like with Buffalo, I think they had the ball like 38 to 40 minutes. And the same thing in Denver. It was just nuts. Like we couldn't stay on the field for long enough. And that's the thing. Our defense is not good enough to be on the field that long. And it was the same thing last year. When we turn the ball over, we put them in bad spots, we pay for it. And that's going to happen with the Steelers, just like it happens with every team. We're not good enough to be in that spot to where our defense can be like, hey, we're going to smash you in the face and we're going to win this game. We're not there yet. So I think if we win that time of possession battle, which perfectly goes hand in hand with the run game, I think we're going to win this game. I told most people, I think we come out of week 4, 3-1.
Yeah.
At the very worst, 2-2. I said most likely 3-1. So that's my thing. We got to get that time of possession under control because, our defense is just on the field way too much.
They are. I think those are good takes. For me, man, it's we got to get off of the field on third down, man. Like we got to cut out the penalties because a lot of times that's when we're belling these guys out. I think on third downs they're just throwing it deep, just hoping for a prayer that we pass interference, and that's what happens. So definitely get off the field on defense. And again, you guys have all said it. We got to figure out this running game. We got to run on them. I think they're pretty soft in the middle, especially without their DT. Of course they do have speed on the outside, but if we can pound them in the middle, man, make them put extra safeties in the box, and I think it's really underappreciated how much Jacoby Myers means to this offense, because we know that Devontae's going to get doubled, of course, going to get bracketed over top. Jacoby can beat any CB2 one-on-one. It's not like they can't double both. So, he has to have a good game, and then Hunter Renfrow, we need some Hunter Renfrow sightings, and we need Michael Mayer. I mean, everyone was so hyped about him. I wasn't super excited about him because I did like Darren Waller. So, I was like, man, this young kid better ball out. I do want to see something from Mayer, to kind of work that middle, kind of like, the tight ends of used to do in the Patriot days when Josh was doing this thing there. So, but yeah, that's really all I got, man. So, before we cut off, man, Josh, man, I know you got your IG up there. Is there anywhere else where people can find you?
No, I just have Instagram, man. I actually just started hopping on people's podcasts this year because I got people reached out to me last year, and I was like, and I started doing it. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I love doing it.
Yeah, it's fun, man.
It's super fun. Pretty much every week I hop on somebody's podcast, so I love being on them. If you guys see me, just ask. I'll make sure I do it. Pretty much every night I'm free unless it's a Raider game. Just follow me on Instagram. I tell people I monetize it. Anything that I get off Instagram, I'm usually buying stuff, give it away. So I'm always out in J-Lot. You see me, I have patches for your kids, stickers, I give away T-shirts, all that kind of stuff. So I make things fun.
That's fine.
But yeah, Instagram's where I go, man. So like, share everything I post. Gets people to follow me.
Sure.
The past 3 weeks, I've hopped in podcasts and I've gotten like 600 followers, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. MP3, I know a lot of these people in here are your fans, man. You got a following, but tell everybody, man, where they can find you, and again, remind everybody of what you do, man, like on the side, man.
Yeah, man. First and foremost, I'm an artist. I paint, I draw, I just create, man. I love to do music. I'm still doing that as a hobby. And I'm just a diehard Raider fan, man. I loves to talk Raider football. Yeah, you can find me at art _by by_MP3 on Instagram, even on TikTok. I put together TikTok videos, and that's at MP3ZTV. So look that up. And yeah, man, I'm always putting out content. Yeah, like I said, whether it's art or music, go follow me. I appreciate it.
For sure, man. For sure. Yeah, a lot of people really enjoyed when we played your song last week, man. So we got to hook up, man. Yeah. And get that on one of my intros and stuff. And again, I just realized I didn't even play my main intro again, but oh well.
Oh, bro. Yeah. So you got your intro's hard, man. That song and everything. I was like, oh, because I'm hopping on different people, so I'm seeing how they introduce and everything. I was like, that shit's on point. Like, that's nice.
Yeah, but that wasn't even like my main intro. My main intro I always play, but I got to figure out what I want to do, because I don't want to play like 3 different songs right in a row, because I don't want to like lose, because I'm real like analytical. So I look at the views and I'm like, oh man, okay, maybe I'm playing too many because now people left, and I'm like, So I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. But
you led it with McFadden. I was like, ooh, that's like one of the favorite players I'm watching growing up.
Me too. Like honestly, like, and when I had a chance to interview Hugh Jackson, because I'm one of the guys I like Hugh Jackson, but man, if I get a chance to interview McFadden, like that's like my end goal, man. That's the end game. That's me beating the last level of Mario Brothers, man. I mean, maybe my my bar is a little too low, but I don't care. McFadden was my boy. If he would have stayed healthy, man. So, but hey, guys, so I really appreciate it, man. Shield Squad, everybody that was in the comments, I really appreciate you guys. Josh, man, really apprate you.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on.
Man, I had a great time. MP3, you already know what it is. You're my boy. I appreciate you coming through. But like I always say, guys, players and coaches, they'll come and go, but we must always protect the shield. You guys be safe. Love you guys. Take care, man. Until next week. See y'all. And let's get this win. Just win, baby.
Get that W.